Hi, welcome back to the channel. In today's lesson, we'll see electrical power sources. We'll see both the dependent and independent power sources. We'll use these circuits to help us understand how to use them in DC circuits. That said, let me get started. Now, there are two types of power sources, both the voltage sources and current sources. Now, how do I distinguish between both of them? Let's start with the dependent power sources. This is how you note the dependent power sources. Now, if I have a symbol like this, and I have my plus and minus sign across it, it tells me that I have a voltage source that is dependent. Now, if I have the same symbol this way in my circuit, I have an arrow in it. This tells me I have a current dependent power source. Here is a current dependent power source, and here also is a voltage dependent power source. Now, how do I note the dependent sources? Here is an example, or here is a symbol for the independent voltage source. I have my plus sign, and I have a circle. Here is a voltage source that is independent. Now, if I have it this way, I have an arrow in it this way, then I'm talking about a current source that is independent. It's a current source that is independent. So these are basically the easiest way to denote these sources. Let's see our example to help us understand. Now, here is my first example. Now, if you look at this example closely, you see that what we have here are both current sources. Now, let's identify the current, the branches. Here is my current. I'll tag this current here. I'll tag it as I1. And I'll tag this current here. I'll tag it as what? I2. Now, I can redraw this way. I can redraw it this way. So that everything is having at a node. Everything is at a node here. We can tag this node A. Now, I can take node A as a point here. This is node A. And we can take this as our reference node. This is my 3 ohm resistor. Here is my 2 ohm resistor. Here is a 4I source, I1 source, 4I1 amp source. And here's a 2 amp source. So you can see that everything is actually in parallel. Now, but one other thing I want you to notice is, if this is the node, we can apply Kirchhoff's current law. By Kirchhoff's current law, now using KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, we'll be saying that at this node A, we'll be saying that my 2 amps, which is moving into the node, plus the 4I1 moving into the node, is the same thing as I1 that is leaving the node plus I2 that is leaving the node. Or you can rewrite it this way: my 2 plus 4I1 now be minus I1 minus I2 is equals to 0. Now, having established this fact that 2 plus 4I1 minus I1, I can simplify this equation to become 2 plus 3I1 minus I2 to be equals to 0. Now, how do we now find I1 and I2? I want us to apply Ohm's law. Now, if you look at this, since all of them are in parallel from what we saw initially, can establish a voltage. I know that there's a voltage across node A, the reference node here. So we can call the voltage across this node V. So that the same voltage across the 3 ohm resistor is the same voltage across the 2 ohms resistor. So if I say that my V now is equals to 3I1, that implies that my I1 is the same thing as V over A. Now, if I say that my V again the same thing as 2I2 from Ohm's law. This implies that my I2 is the same thing as V over 2. So we can now substitute, let's call this equation 1. We can now substitute in equation 1 for both I1 and I2. So that I'll be saying that 2 plus 3 into V over 2 minus, oh, sorry. So that I'll be saying that 2 plus 3 into I1 is V over 3 minus I2 is V over 2 is equals to 0. Now, so that I'm saying that 2 now plus 3V over 3 minus V over 2 is equals to 0. You can multiply across board by 6. If I multiply through by 6, I'll be saying that 12 plus multiplying 3 by 6 here becomes 18 divided by 3, that becomes 3. So that becomes 6. That becomes 6. I don't even need to multiply by 6. I didn't see it that way. That becomes 6. 3 divided by 3 is 1. V times 6, that's 6V minus, now multiplying this V here by 6, that becomes 3V is equals to 0. So that 12 plus 3V is equals to 0. 12 is equals to minus 3V. Obviously, V is equals to minus 4. V is equals to minus 4 volts. Now let's calculate. That makes it easy. We can easily calculate for both I1. Let me make space. To solve for I1, we know that I1 now is equals to V over 3. That will be the same thing as minus 4 over 3. We know that I2 is the same thing as V over 2. That will be the same thing as minus 4 over 2, which is equals to minus 2 amps. This is 2 amps. This is minus 4 over 3 amps. Now, both of them are negative, showing both of them are in a wrong direction. I need to change this direction. So I can easily change this direction. Rather than my arrows pointing down, my arrows should point upwards. My arrows should point upward. I've emphasized this in our lessons on KCL and KVL. Now let's take second example. I will advise you pause this video and try your hands on this example. Okay, now let's look at it. The question wants us to find, in this circuit below, we should apply KCL to find the value of current. We have this is a current source. This is actually a current source, is KI, sorry. This is a current source. I didn't include the arrow, but this is a voltage source, and you can see the plus and the negative. We have KCL, and if you look at it carefully again, it's also a parallel circuit. 24 volts is across the 6 ohms, meaning what I should have here is 24 volts across the 6 ohms, and what I should have across the 3 ohms also is 24 volts across the 3 ohms. So if I have I1 here, okay, I have I here, sorry, I didn't label that. This is I that we're to look for. I have I2 here. Now look at it this way. If I have I1 across my 6 ohms, I have 24 volts across it here, I should have, okay, let's start with KCL first. Let's start with KCL. Now from KCL, I know that my I1, my I is entering, here's a node. Let's start this as node A. My I is entering node A plus my K I1 also entering node A minus my I1 leaving node A minus my I2 leaving node A is equals to 0. Now that's from KCL. Now from Ohm's law, to observe that 24 volts is across this 6 ohm, telling me that 24 volts, my V is equals to IR is equals to 6 times I1, which implies that I1 is equals to 24 over 6, which is equals to 4 amps. The same 24 volts, the same thing as 3I2, which implies that I2 is obviously equals to 24 over 3, which is equals to 8 amps. Now, if I1 is equals to 4, I2 is equals to 8, I can write this equation to mean I plus 4k minus 4 minus 8 is equals to 0. So that I plus 4k minus 8 minus 4 minus 8, that's minus 12, is equals to 0. So that I now, when k is equals to 2, obviously my I will be the same thing as 12 minus 4k, that's minus 4 into 2. That equals to 12 minus 8, which is equals to 4 amps. And when k is equals to 3, obviously my I now will be the same thing as 12 minus 4 into 3, which is equals to 12 minus 12. Obviously, this is equals to 0 amps. 0 amps. With this, we've come to the end of this lesson, and I hope you understand how to deal with both independent and dependent power sources. They are quite good to play with. You can play around with them. In a subsequent lesson, we'll take more examples on this, and I hope to see you in our next class.